Good evening, Hawks fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Atlanta Sports District. I'm your host, Russell Spence, coming to you directly after a 131-116 victory over the Washington Wizards. Righted the ship against a bad team tonight. Let's get into how it all unfolded. Again, I'm going to talk about the offense and defense, what my thoughts were. Then I'll talk about the overall performance from the Washington Wizards perspective, and then I'll talk about each individual player. In terms of the offense, this was the sign of a team that could not stop anyone in any way. They did not have a coverage they could throw at us that could affect our offense at all. They are a pitiful defensive team, and it showed early, often. They had no answer for Jalen. They had no answer for Nall. They had no answer for Veet. They had no answer for Asa Newell. They didn't have anything they could do to stop anyone. Their only real positive defensive player is Alex Sarr, and he did not play today. So their defense is just so bad that it's kind of hard to get a parameter on how our offense actually is. When you beat a team that most college teams could score a pretty significant amount of points on, you're probably going to not get a ton of knowledge about your offense in that game. In my opinion, the Washington Wizards have not done the smartest job of drafting and doing this rebuild that they've done in the post-John Wall and Bradley Beal era. They have no young, talented offensive players, like offensive stars, and they also have no young, like, scale-upable wings that could play great defense. Like, I guess George is a pretty good defender, but he's never going to scale up to be the kind of defender that you can build your defense around. And you cannot win with just, we have one, like consistently in the NBA, we have one great defensive post and everybody else is a turnstile. And oh, by the way, the only positive offensive player we have is Ancient of Days, CJ McCollum. This team is very, very bad. And quite honestly, I don't know what to even say about the Hawks offense because we didn't have to work for anything. If we missed a shot, Asa flies in and gets an offensive rebound, or Onyeka gets an offensive rebound, or Dyson gets an offensive rebound, or Jalen gets an offensive rebound, because they don't box out. And then we get a second chance opportunity, we make it, because we're wide open, because now nobody's guarding anybody. That happens so much. We had such a high three-point percentage tonight. We had just an overall crazy efficiency night on the offensive end. And it feels unwarranted because we really didn't play that well offensively. They're just that bad on defense. And that's what it should have looked like in the first game. We had a portion of time throughout tonight's game where we gave up a lot of points and started to give up kind of a comeback because we went back in that mindset of like, oh, this team's terrible. And we stopped having the defensive intensity we were supposed to have. That even happened during a portion of time with Mo Gay on the floor, which is the first time that's happened all year. But the intensity wasn't even there from Mo, where for a portion of time in the third quarter, beginning of fourth quarter, we lost our intensity, and we just said, we're going to kill this team. Who cares? I don't care who it is. If it's an NBA team, they can score. You always have to be intense on the defensive end. We lost our intensity, and that caused us to give up this comeback. And then we kind of locked back in like, oh, if we don't lock in, we're going to lose. And so we lock back in and we stretch it right back out. And the rest is history. We end up with a very easy win by the end of the game. In terms of the Washington Wizards, man, there seems to be no hope in sight. I mean, if they get a high draft pick, which they're going to, my pick for them would be like Darren Peterson or Michael Brown Jr. at Louisville. Like somebody that can play those on-ball reps. But then you kind of find, like, what do you do with Bub? He's supposed to be an on-ball guy, and he's really not developing. He can't play defense well enough to be a wing player. And, Keyshawn George is playing better at, like, facilitating the offense than he was. But the defense is still bad. The jumper's still a little weird. And, like, what do you do with this team? There's young players, I don't know what I would do with at that point. And so I think, for me, you draft a player for them who can run the offense, and then you get rid of these players who kind of don't fit with a timeline, like the CJ McCollums, the Chris Middleton, those kind of people where it's like these guys don't fit with what we're trying to do right now. And then George can stay, and I would have Corey Kispert be the starting 2, to play the 3 and D role. Hopefully Keyshawn George turns into like a kind of play finisher kind of role. And then you need a stopper. I would look to be, going in free agency. There's a guy who you could sign off the two-way squad from Miami. His name's Miles Gardner, who could play a stopper role for them and be very cheap. But I would not be, after this draft for them, I would not be thinking about going into the next year with we're playing our young guys and we're developing all the young guys. That's not going to be beneficial. You need to try to win around the 2 that you've got that you really believe in, which would be the one who can run the offense, whether that's Devonsa or Peterson or Mikael Brown, and then your one true defensive piece you really believe in, Alex Sarr, and then try to put some veterans around them and try to help to make them not be so bad. Because for a while in Trey's career, we saw it with the Hawks where we were so bad, we didn't know how to win. None of us knew how to win. And for 2 or 3 years, we had a very talented team who could not get it done until we went out and got Gallo and went and got Bogey and started playing with some other veterans. That was when we started really seeing an improvement to the record because those veterans were able to play so well and knew how to close games. And then our young players learned how to do that. So if I was running the Wizards, that's what I would do. I would draft a guy, and I would put veterans around him that kind of match up with the roles we needed, that wouldn't take the ball out of their hands, but people who knew how to win. I would go get the Bruce Browns and the Gary Paytons and just the really hard-working guys that aren't going to take the ball out of your young guys' hands. They don't want the ball. They want to do the grit and grind stuff. Moving on to the player-by-player section. We had an interesting rotation tonight. No KP, it's a back-to-back. He hardly ever plays back-to-backs. But Keaton Wallace played 4 minutes, and those 4 were not very good. It was rough when Keaton was on the floor. We played that 3-man, I think Brad Rowland calls it the lineup. It's really bad. The Keaton, Veet, and Kennard lineup has been just pitiful all year, and hopefully we see that that's not beneficial. Next, we'll talk about Mo Gay. Mo only played 9 minutes in a game that KP didn't play. I think they did that because they knew that more than likely we're going to beat this team, and they wanted to give Asa some time. But I did not like that decision. I would have loved to see develop the confidence of Mo Gay. There was a few times he actually attacked tonight and got us good looks when he attacked. He was 2 of 2 from the floor, had 4 points. But he didn't record a steal, didn't record a block, only recorded 1 rebound. Was +1 in the game. The defense was still very good, just didn't have any statistical stuff to show for it because he only played 9 minutes. He needs to play more. Please let Mo Gay play more. Play Jalen at the 3 and play Mo more. Next, we'll talk about Asa. Asa played fantastic. 12 minutes, 11 points, 5 of 6 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, 3 rebounds, all offensive rebounds, 3 assists, and ended the game +15. They could not box him out. They didn't try to box him out. Tristan Vucevic was getting out of his way because Asa is very big and very strong, and he played very well tonight on the offensive glass. The defense is still really bad. He doesn't know where to be. He's not rotating quickly. It's not so much that he doesn't know where to be. It's more that when an NBA offense is being run, they swing the ball so fast. So if your brain isn't moving at that speed and you're not moving with the ball at that speed, then your rotation is late and it looks like you don't know where to be and you're like, that was where I was supposed to be, and they just made a wide open three. And so that does happen, but Asa was so good on offense that the defense didn't really matter. That won't happen every game. We need to improve his defense. He needs to be working with these defensive coaches. Ryan Schmidt, get in the lab. If you know anything about the way Ryan Schmidt improves players' defense, you know we really need Asa working with him every day. Next, we'll talk about Kennard. So Luke Kennard played 23 minutes. He had 15 points on 6 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3. This is what I've been talking about. Hunt your jumper. He had multiple times where he pulled up in transition and took threes. Had multiple times where he pump fake guy flows by, he takes a dribble, shoots a long two. I mean, just things where it's like he has to continue to attack. He has to continue to play for his jumper. Attack and seek out your jumper over and over and over again, because your jumper is one of the greatest in the history of the game. So shoot it. You're so good. Just shoot the ball. Speaking of just shoot the ball, Vít Krejci played 31 minutes. He had 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting, 4 of 8 from 3. He is still shooting the ball at a nuclear pace. It is crazy, the development of his shooting that has happened. And I've always said that the shot looks good. Like the components of the shot, the way the ball spins, the arc, where his hand placement is, where his elbow's at, how his feet are on balance. That always looked good. But now we're seeing the fruits of the components coming to fruition. And he is making an insane amount of shots, and he is hunting his jumper like a maniac. He is shooting some shots. I'm like, what are you? Oh, it went in. Okay. I can't argue with it because you were technically open. That's really early in the shot clock, but you sprinted right into it. You caught it with confidence. You popped it, and it went in. I'll take it. He's shooting the ball so well. The defense is still really bad, but if he's giving this much value on offense, he's very crucial to play. Moving on to the starters, Zach played 19 minutes. That's not enough. He had 7 points on 3 of 6 shooting, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and was +3 in the game. Zach's playing really well. The defense looks great. He's moving really well off ball. He is still a little bit struggling with his jumper. He was 0 of 1 from 3 tonight, but honestly, it's not mattering because he's playing so well in other facets of the game. I just want him to play more. He needs to play more. He's playing so well. He's helping us win. Please play him more. Thank you for coming to my Zachary Reshaw Say TED Talk. Next, we'll talk about Dyson Daniels. Dyson played 36 minutes. He had 12 points on 4 of 16 shooting, 0 of 5 from 3, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and was +13. They're still guarding him with centers, and that is a concern because he is not punishing that coverage very well. And I hope that he can learn to punish that coverage because it's going to be crucial for him to learn to punish that coverage. A lot of that would be mitigated if he was making his jumper. I think he's got a case of the yips. He is not shooting with confidence at all. We need him to go and figure out how to rummage in Vít Krejci's brain because he desperately needs to be shooting with more confidence. Whenever you are shooting, there's actually a legitimate change to percentages. This is a scientifically tested and proven thing that when an offensive player, before they shoot it, says, I am going to make this, and then they shoot, the shot actually goes in more often. Like they've had huge sample size of people just shooting like 1,000 shots in a day, and they track the makes. And then the next day they have them come back and say, okay, now before every shot, you're going to say, I'm going to make this. And the second day, they make way more shots from the exact same place. He just has to be confident, and sometimes that can be fake confidence. He can just literally be like, I don't actually think I'm going to make it, but when I catch it and I'm wide open and they've got a center just sitting in the paint and I've got ages and ages to shoot, I'm going to make this. That I really do think that would help if he would say that out loud. He's got to be more confident in his jumper, and right now that's the biggest problem with his game. The defense is amazing. It didn't affect his plus minus tonight, but against a team like Houston or Oklahoma City or Detroit, when they put a center on him and just stick that guy in the paint, say nobody's scoring down here because you have dice on the floor and he can't make a jumper, that will really negatively affect our team. Moving on to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He played 32 minutes, had 17 points on 15 shots, 3 of 10 from 3. He had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 turnovers. The passing is still really not good, and it's coming to a point where it's like, I just don't think he's ever going to be a good passer, and that's okay. He's going to be a secondary player. He's going to be a play finisher who makes shots on offense and plays a 3-and-D role on defense, plays good defense, and is going to be a high-quality three-point shooter. And you can be a 20-point per game scorer doing that and really positively affecting the team. Right now, we're asking too much of a creation load on him because we don't have Trey, and so the turnover numbers are really high. Especially like turnover to assist ratio. So I'm just hoping that when Trey comes back, the turnover to assist ratio just corrects itself a little bit because he's not having to create as much. The three-point shooting stays where it is. The slashing ability stays where it is. The defense stays where it's been. And man, that will be a wonderful asset to have. Moving on to Onyeka Okongwu, he played 36 minutes, scored 21 points on 10 of 17 shooting, 0 of 4 from 3, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 turnovers. They started Marvin Bagley at center tonight, and quite honestly, Marvin Bagley is super talented offensively still. When he attacks, he's still a very skilled player. His defense at center is pitiful, and Okongwu attacked him and attacked him and attacked him and attacked him, and it was very high efficiency looks, very easy looks for Okongwu, and he punished him, and it worked really well, really fast, and that's good to see. When Okongwu attacks, especially weaker defenders, the game gets really easy for the Hawks, and that's what happened tonight. So I would love to see that continue to happen, even if it's somebody that's like considered to be a really good player. I don't care. If it's Jokic, he is not a good defender. Onyeka should attack him at the same way he attacked Marvin Bagley. If it's Şengün, attack him. If it's Karl Anthony Towns, attack him. These players who, they're stars, but they do not play defense well. He needs to attack like he did tonight. Get in the paint, attack off the dribble, take your baby hooks, take your little one-handed floaters, try to attack for lobs, force those offensive stars to play defense because they do not. They will refuse to. And lastly, Jalen Johnson. He played 39 minutes. That is still so many. I am getting worried. The more minutes he plays and the more minutes above normal he plays, he will get hurt. It will significantly raise the risk of him getting injured. Please, I do not want him to get injured. We have other good options at the 4. We beat this team by 15 points. We could have made it where Jalen didn't play for 3 of the minutes that he played in the game, and then it would have significantly lowered the risk of him getting hurt. Just putting it out there. He had 30 points on 18 shots. Insane efficiency. Wonderful efficiency. Only 6 points from perfect efficiency. He had 12 rebounds and 12 assists with 3 turnovers. A 30-point triple-double is a beautiful game to watch. And tonight, Jalen took over the entire game. The Washington Wizards got Jalen Johnson tonight, and they could not mitigate that problem. Moving forward, our next game is, let's see here. That could be right. Friday. Wow. Long gap there. Against the Detroit Pistons. Big game. Hopefully, get Trae Young back before then. That would be really helpful. Brad Rowland did report that he has been ruled out for Saturday's game and remains out, quote, indefinitely. And to me, that means they're tired of people asking when he's going to be back. And so they're saying he'll be back when he's back. But that's a very long gap between games, a Saturday to a Friday. Hopefully we get some word of like, he's looking great and he's going to play, or he's going to play the game after that or something like that. But we desperately have needed this rest. We have been extremely, extremely busy, and travel has been crucially difficult. And I am extremely happy to see us having some rest because we need that time. So let me know what you think about what I said about how I would move forward if I was the Washington Wizards. And let me know what you think about the team in general and how you feel everybody's playing, what you think about these minutes allocations, whether you think Zach should be playing more, whether you think Mo should be playing more, whether you think Asa should be playing more, whether you think Keaton shouldn't be playing at all, what you think of Jalen if he's playing too much. Just, give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. I really appreciate the support I've been getting on the podcast this season, and I ain't going anywhere. But as you all know, I hope you have a great day.